Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to our next American Horror Story reaction. Alright, so we've got some meowing. We are about to start episode 4 of Double Feature, and as we talked about previously, this season is divided into 2 halves, and the first half only consists of 6 episodes, so we are entering the back half of the first story's stretch. So very curious to see where we're going to be going from here, where we left off. Some pretty crazy things that happened with Alma and Ursula. So yeah, very interested to see how it's going to develop. As you guys know, I have been having a bit of a sickness overload recently, so I am like all comfied out, bundled up as much as possible here, but still looking forward to watching the episode. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. There we go.
I'm a biochemical engineer. Spent the past 9 years working with the U.S. military trying to understand and unlock the creative parts of the brain.
Oh, so this is a military project?
Less. They don't want them looking for themselves. But to lock up the creative mind, we also have to understand how to unlock it.
Interesting.
Tons of
Okay.
research from studying highly creative people.
Big thing in the medicine that...
They became highly aggressive, bloodthirsty.
Which is what they wanted for the soldiers?
I think the medicine has different effects on creative and non-creative people. It's almost like the non-creative ones can tolerate their lack of talent until they're confronted with it. Then their mediocrity drives them mad.
What?
So,
This is a weird explanation.
want to try one?
He's like,
Fuck no. Maybe you're one of the talented ones. Thanks, but no thanks.
I guess it
Look, guys, get my money.
wasn't until later
It's a
when he
long
sees
winter.
the way that it actually worked for some others that he...
I'll give you $50 for anyone you convince to come take one of
Oh
these little
shit! That's how it gets spread around. Because she needed test subjects and people that would be dependent, and she got him to be like her go-between, the pusher.
One.
Fuck's sake. I would have just bought a book from you at home and we could have skipped this bullshit.
Oh my god.
Shit. It's my dream.
What do you want from me, Belle? I'm here, aren't I? I agreed to putting up a big chunk of our retirement with this dumb book tour during which we've sold 6 books. You want me to support your dream? Here I am, supporting the fuck out of it.
Sort
I'm
of.
grateful. But can't you see I'm doing it for both of us? I could be the next Danielle Steele. She's worth $1 billion.
How many times has she been married?
4, maybe 5.
Well, I guess then there's one way you could be like her.
Belle, your
Let's
husband's
go back
trash.
to the hotel and freshen up and then watch the sunset at the Muse. I hear it's beautiful.
You want me to suck some cock while I'm in there?
What? No.
Then why are you asking me to go to a homo bar and do something totally gay, like watch the fucking sunset? I want to do something actually fun, like the Haunted Dune tour.
Sounds scary. I don't want to have nightmares. I need my sleep before the next tour stop in the vineyard.
You know why I'm really so angry at you? It's not the stupid book tour, or the fact that you write about sex all day but haven't touched my dick in 2 years. It's that you're weak and scared and boring.
I'm the same as I was when you married me 40 years ago.
Well, I was at work for those 40 years. Now that I have to be with you all the time, it's intolerable.
I hear they have great calamari.
Wow. Her husband sucks. Pills are definitely gonna change her.
Pretty cool color on your nails. You mind if I join you? Hey, dude, you don't look good. I feel sick.
Uh-oh.
That bitch Karen gave me bronchitis or something. You sure? Because she says she hasn't been sick in a while.
He knows a Bloody Mary doesn't have
I'm gonna
blood in it,
puke.
right? His hair's gonna be falling out? Yep. Pale people time.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's the drugs.
But I want more.
Yeah, you see, it doesn't really work that way. First time's the best, and then you end up chasing that high forever, and you never catch it.
That's some bullshit.
The pills create certain cravings, and they cause aggression even in the subjects with positive results.
I could use a little of that too, according to my husband. Please, I need this.
The effects are temporary. You're gonna have to keep taking them as it wears off. And you're gonna have to stick around and agree to let me study you.
Whatever it takes. To finding my destiny.
Bullshit. Let me see. You didn't write this.
Yes, I did.
You couldn't have. It's good.
I did write it.
She's gonna kill you.
What? You got something you want to say to me?
What was the feeling?
Vampire Michael Stipe. Or anorexic Uncle Fester.
Oh my god.
You want a tattoo? I do them in the back. I could give you bat wings or like a Grim Reaper dancing on your arm.
I need a coat, and I don't have a lot of money.
I got just the thing.
These look expensive.
They were, in the 80s. All the fashion gays from New York and Boston came out here to let their dicks and rainbow flags fly. Then they all died and left behind closets full of this high fashion stuff.
What?
When the straight yuppies moved into town, they cleaned out the closets and donated all of it to us. I was hoping to sell a few for Halloween, but no takers. I'll basically give one to you if you take it off my hands.
Oh god. This is where the fucking coats come from? Why was he inspired to go stand in the graveyard though?
Fucking no! I killed her! She asked me to pray with her, and I killed her!
Did you feel anger, rage?
Yes. Why?
You drank the blood because the pills created deficiency. You felt the rage because you now hate everyone.
I told you I'm a pacifist.
You hate everyone because you now know the truth about yourself. You're not talented. You don't have what it takes. The talented ones need the blood, but their rage comes from their arrogance and certainty that they're better than everyone. The rage of the untalented is much darker, more intense. You hate the world for giving you dreams that were too big.
This is depressing.
Back up, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
You're stealing from my grandmother. My problem with you is, you're the ugliest fucking woman I ever seen.
Oh my god.
And your drag name is awful.
Patio Furniture. It's an awesome name.
And why in the hell do you think people want to be thinking of some suburban deck chair while you perform for them? Look at me. I'm Crystal Decanter. I ooze elegance and shine. I don't know why y'all are trying to read him when y'all are just as bad as he is. Probably worse.
I belong in here, doing this. Just like that. I've got a nose for talent. Why is a young man with your gifts lip syncing in drag on the cock tip of Cape Cod in the winter?
I'm a playwright. I sweet-talked the owner of the playhouse in town into putting on one of my plays. I rented a place, I moved out here, I started casting, and then the guy just disappeared. Not a trace of him.
What did he look like?
6 feet tall, chubby, kind of red face all the time.
Did she kill him?
Why? Have you seen him?
No.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
It's your new starter switch. It's the highway to your true self.
Fuck it.
You can't win them all. I'm full anyway.
What do we do now?
Now, we go right.
All right, well, that was episode 4, and that was the end of the episode. So that one went by quick, I have to say. It was really interesting getting to watch a bit of the background behind all of this, though I was surprised that they did a full, complete flashback episode, so we didn't really get to see a continuation of where we left off last week, so I'm assuming next week is going to pick up where it left off with Harry coming home and seeing the aftermath of what Alm was done and realizing, you know, that Ursula is aware and whatever's going to happen from there. But so yeah, so it was interesting. So I guess ultimately it is the case that it has to do with creativity. That's something I've been speculating about throughout the course of all these episodes so far, whether that is really it or if there's something else going on, and that's just what they think or they say, and that there's other reasons for why some people end up as the pale people. You know, I'd had some ideas that maybe that's just something that happens to all of them inevitably over time, or that if they don't get enough blood or if they stop taking the pills. But no, it is the creativity thing, which is kind of weird, but you know, it's American Horror Story, so the coming up with it as a military experiment was clever, and I'm curious if that's somehow gonna tie into the other part of the season, which is focused on aliens, if there'll be some military component there as well, but I don't know. And it seems that the chemist basically was working on this and testing it on primates, and the goal was basically to get rid of creativity and turn them into mindless drones. And instead, this is what they seem to come up with, and I guess she must have left because even the military found it too unethical to continue, but she was like, you know what, I want to keep going, and also as an opportunity to make money, I guess. So she comes out here and does it. I do think it's interesting that Mickey was involved in the recruitment, and I guess you could say it's an indication of how desperate he's become over time. And maybe just also when he sees Belle and Austin and the few that it worked on, he comes to the conclusion that it's actually a thing. You know, he probably wouldn't want to be the first test subject, right? Who even knows what the hell would happen to you, regardless of, you know, what she said about if you're creative, it helps you. If you're not creative, it doesn't. So I don't know, but it's interesting that he's the one that recruited Belle and brought her into it. And the difference in dynamic of their relationship at first, where he was super supportive of her, but then took advantage of her to get, you know, money for himself. And they were super friendly and everything. And then it turns around and now she like treats him with so much disdain, even though I guess it all worked out in her favor. I don't feel bad for her husband, really, I'm sorry. It's also interesting to see, like, she seemed to be, like, a nice and gentle person, but they've emphasized that it really changes your personality, too, with the aggression. And that she's also the one that brought Austin into it is interesting, but not totally surprising. They kind of have that sort of dynamic anyway. But seeing both of their backstories was fun, and the drag thing was just a funny addition to the episode. I think they just did that for the enjoyment, the entertainment value of it. Um, I'm still curious about Dennis O'Hara's character. So he's the one that ends up providing the place for the chemist, and you see him find the body and everything, but what exactly is going on with him? Is he just like a bystander? There has to be something more, because there always is with every character he plays. So the story behind the coat is basically just that she had all of these things that were from the 80s that were cleaned out of closets, and she had them there, and so she's willing to sell them for super cheap or give them away for free because they're so trash that nobody else wants to buy them, and they just have huge 80s shoulder pads. And I guess all the people that take the pill and aren't creative end up getting super, super cold. So they go and look for a cheap coat. I mean, I think that's kind of insane, but I mean, she must have had a lot of the same basic coat design on hand. Oh my god. But yeah, overall, I just found that episode to be kind of fun, interesting backstory, so I definitely enjoyed myself watching it. One thing I did want to briefly comment on is, okay, so we saw Tuberculosis Karen again kind of for a second with Mickey. Clearly their relationship is being shown to be significant throughout the course of the show. I'm wondering if she's going to come into play and be more important the last 2 episodes of this, because Sarah Paulson is still listed as the... She's listed first in the cast list as though she's the main character, but she actually hasn't really done that much at all in the show in this season, except for really the first episode. I'd say she had a decent amount, and then the second episode with Mickey. But I mean, she wasn't even in the episode before this, and in this one she was only in it for a couple seconds, so I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot more of her after this, but we'll see. And then we'll be picking up where we left off with the family dynamic and everything. Now that we know about the creativity thing, I definitely think it's going to end up being the case that Doris ends up taking the pills and isn't creative and turns into one of them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I still think the baby's not got a long future ahead of it, but we'll see about that too. So, all right, gonna wrap this up here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.